Hello, everyone, and welcome to Angels in Action. My name is Larkin. We're doing this a few hours later than usual, so I'm not sure if Susie's going to be able to join us today. We have plans to get back on here together this week, hopefully next week. But I wanted to just pop in with you guys for a half an hour. I actually have another online live reading starting at 4 o'clock with Veronica Jenkins' group. But I wanted to pop on here with you guys today and just give you a good 25 minutes or so to remind you from your spirit teams, from your angels, spirit guides, loved ones, great teachers on the other side, that they are there with you and to share a little bit of wisdom from them. You guys can also join me at 4 p.m. EDT, which is 9 p.m. BST on Veronica Jenkins' group here in a half an hour. And again on Tuesday, don't forget Friday, I'm going to light some incense while I'm waiting for some people to log on. Don't forget Friday is Furball Friday. So if you guys want to join me for an hour of just dedicated to nothing but animals, that is going to be 12 p.m. EDT on Friday, which is 5 p.m. BST. Most of my listeners are either from Canada or the UK or the United States. But we do have people listening from all over the world, which is super exciting. Try this again here. I blew it out a little too early, I think. This is our black cherry again. I have some sandalwood today as well. As most of you know, I encourage you to have a candle or some incense, to have at least I always have 3 drinks with me, but to have a yummy drink with you. Today I have a delicious coffee. My husband I was going to say delicious husband, yes, but I have a delicious coffee that's on its way from my lovely husband. And then this is Gatorade, which I love, and I've got some water as well. And then, of course, I always have a candle. I always love to light a candle here to really set the mood, the ambiance, to clear the energy in the air, and to attune our senses. All right. That's super important. It's very important that you all learn to hold space for yourselves and for what you're wanting to manifest, for what you're wanting to heal, for what you're wanting to transform and create. That's exceedingly important because we fill up our lives with all this stuff. And we forget that that is taking up space within us and around us and in our lives, right? So don't forget, the incense, the candles, the drinks, the crystals, if you want to bring it, whatever you need, that is holding space for what you're desiring, for what your intention is. Okay, so you make sure that you leave all your worries and your garbage at the door, and you come in for the 30 minutes today, 30 minutes, but the 30 minutes or the hour, whatever the time is that teacher or that reader is giving you, or that personal time for yourself. Okay, if you sit down and you have your own prayer time or your own manifesting time or your own journaling time, your own reflection time, whatever it is, create a space for it. Make sure it's quiet. Make sure you have maybe music that supports, your inner frequency, that brings you peace and focus. Okay, these things are exceedingly important for you. My dogs are probably going to bark because my husband just got home with my coffee. But anyway, so these things are really important. Like I said, I'm only going to be with you today about 20-25 minutes because I have another broadcast at 4. But I wanted to make sure to pop on with you and make sure you were holding space and having time to connect with your spirit team, with the other side, with your higher self, which a lot of people don't like to use that term. I don't mind using that term because it's a more conscious version of you. It's your eternal soul and wisdom, okay, and consciousness. So that's super important as well. And your spirit teams. I'll go ahead and turn on comments. I haven't watched that. Hi, Tammy. Welcome. Hey, Melody and Melissa. I'm only on about 20 minutes today, guys, because I've got other readings going on. So I'm going to try to get back up and on more with my lives this week, but I've been creating 2 different programs that are going to be released in September. The Awakening Your Intuition program, a metaphysical sampler, where there's 12 weeks. I'm creating an online program for this so people can learn, have a sample, spend a week each focusing on different aspects of the metaphysical and how that connects with manifesting in your life and with your spiritual life. So one week we're going to do tarot cards, another week we're going to do spirit guides, another week we're going to do angels, another week we're going to do chakras. So this will be really fun, and that's in September. So I've been working on that, and that's taken up a lot of my extra time. Hey, Natalie, welcome. And then the other program that I'm launching with Chris, I'll have one with Susie as well. The other program I'm launching with Chris is called the 3Gs for healing your past, being present with your, getting powerful basically in your present and creating your future. And that was based off of the prayer sphere that we had this past Sunday. So anyway, I've got these online courses that I'm writing up, as well as a couple books and some cards I'm creating. So anyway, that has taken away a little bit from my screen time here. Anywho, welcome. I've got a good 20 minutes with you guys, and hopefully this is going to be a time for you to step out and breathe, get into your center, be reminded that you're a part of your spirit team and that they're always there working with you. I feel like the incense and all of that is also a reminder to our physical senses. It not only alters our physical senses some, which allows us to get more out of our head, but it also, it reminds us, for example, I don't know about you guys, but when I look at fire, if I look at a flame or I sit in front of a fire, I am reminded that everything is just energy. I'm reminded that this fire has a consciousness, has an essence, is energy. I'm reminded of those 4 elements. Okay. When I am smelling and smelling the incense, and I'm seeing the smoke of the incense, it's just sort of a magical ether that it creates, right? And it reminds us of the transcendence of worlds, which is really, really important. Okay. That, my whole point in doing so much of this in my work with before and after death, which I'm getting on some podcasts to share about that work, is that we begin to sort of normalize this idea of death in a more real way, that there really is no death. We are here. If you listen to near-death experiences from people, they'll even share this. I'm fortunate enough to have a very intact cosmic memory. I remember prior to birth. I remember my life on the other side. I remember all of these things, and it's really amazing. And so I want to share that with people. This is just like one short stop on your journey. It's not everything. It's not eternity. It's supposed to feel like a big deal. Our egoic self, in order to stay alive as humans, needs to feel like this is the end all, right? What we are here in physical form, our life here in physical form, is everything. Hi, Anne. Hi, Kaz. Welcome. But it's not. It's not everything. It's only the teeniest piece. And what you do here has a big impact in the universe, for your soul, what you learn, when and how you're going to want to come back. All of that really, it matters, but it doesn't matter. Okay. It matters, and you're here to learn. But by the same token, it's just a small pit stop. So we need to learn to not take everything so seriously. We need to learn that when we lighten up and we fly higher. I'm very, very well, Anne. Thank you for asking. I hope you're well too. When we lighten up and fly higher, we actually raise our frequency. Okay. And this is really empowering, because as a manifestation coach for over 15 years, one of the things I find is people we're too serious. Our ego wants us to take everything so seriously. But when we step back and we can realize, as Eckhart Tolle teaches, right, which is why that's my textbook for my coaching clients. Wow, I'm just the observer of this experience. I'm just the observer of these thoughts. This isn't the ultimate reality. And I have a part in creating my reality. That is life-changing, guys. And I'll share this as well. I've known this since I was a little child. I've remembered this as I was a little child. I've been teaching this ever since I can remember. But the more I practice it, the more I share these messages from spirit, I notice the more my physical brain and body and nervous system emotionally believe this. Okay, it's part of programming, but it comes from my remembering. So the reason you guys always hear me say, that's great, Ann, I'm so glad. The reason you guys always hear me say it's about remembering who you are is because when you remember who you are and you stop allowing society to convince you that you're everything that your ego thinks, that you have to comply and fulfill all these requirements of the egoic self, all of a sudden you're liberated. All of a sudden there's a freedom and a joy and a fun and a play that comes into your life. So would you rather live a life where you're constantly stressed and anxious and worried and you're constantly giving yourself ultimatums and limitations? Oh my God, if I don't do this, that's going to happen. If I don't do that, that's going to happen. Or would you rather experience a greater sense of freedom? The freedom that's really already yours. Okay. People want freedom. They want joy. They want abundance. They want security. They want love. They want fulfillment. They want joy. That's ultimately what everybody wants. Okay. And what Spirit wants you guys to know is those things are already yours. They're actually already who you are. So the limitations, the negative emotions that are actually just road signs, they're important. They're not bad. If you're stressed, if you're worried, if you're overwhelmed, if you're angry, if you're jealous, whatever it is, stop trying to get away from those feelings. Stop trying to get away from that. Those emotions are the mind in the body. They're actually different than feelings. Okay, they're messengers. They're so important. They're there to assist you. When they're a habit, that's a sign that you need to change something. You need to create transformation in your mindset, because if they're a habit, that means you're addicted to the ways of thinking and acting and making choices that are creating these negative emotions. Emotions are the mind and the body, as Dr. Joe Dispenza says. And Spirit wants you to know, your whole Spirit team wants you guys to know they're not bad. Your spirit guides are whispering in your ears, trying to say, look, stop trying to run away from these emotions. Start asking, what are they telling me? Start asking, what do they mean? Start asking, why am I feeling this way? Why are these emotions a part of my life? I don't like these. Stop thinking about how much you don't like them. Start thinking about, okay, so what are they telling me? Because my friends, everything is always working out for you. And your spirit guides are there to remind you of that. So if that is true, then even your negative experiences, aren't they there to serve you? If everything's always working out for you, then don't you just need to switch your perspective? As Dr. Wayne Dyer said, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. That's why he said this. He was constantly channeling from Spirit. Okay. Anne Swantek says, I've been seeing bunnies a lot outside. Oh, that's wonderful. Bunnies are family. They're loving. They're nurturing. They are innocence. And then they can also symbolize and remind you not to go in circles, because what bunnies do is they tend to go in circles. Okay. But they're also a symbol of fertility, which means that there's this tremendous potential around you to be creating what you want. There's, you have fertile soil in your life that is just ready to blossom with the things you're wanting to manifest. Okay, so that's a wonderful sign and symbol for you to have. Let's see. Hello, beautiful Larkin and other beautiful souls. Hello, Christina. Welcome. So guys, again, for those of you that just showed up, I'm only going to be on here about 15 more minutes, because I actually have my live on Veronica Jenkins' page at 4. But I wanted to touch base with you guys. We'll be back at noon again next week. As I said, I'm writing a couple online courses that I'm pre-selling for you guys that I'll be releasing in September, working on a book and cards. Hi, Allison. Welcome. So I've been super busy. So I'm only going to be on here about 15 more minutes, but I wanted to touch base and help you all, remind you all to hold space. Remind you all, you'll have to pop in there. Yes, Christina, pop in and see me at 4. But I wanted to, your spirit guides are they're like, look, people still aren't holding space for themselves. They're not holding space for us. So I popped in today. You needed that. Good, Christina. I popped in today to remind you guys, you got to hold space for your spirit team. You've got to hold space for your higher self. Some people don't like that term. Again, I like to use that term. I like to use it because I want to remind you that that's the self that should be in charge. The observer behind your thoughts, as Eckhart Tolle refers to it, which is your eternal soul and consciousness. That's who should be in charge, not your ego. Okay, your soul consciousness, your intuition should be using your mind as a tool. And your spirit guides are trying to encourage each and every one of you to do that, because it's one of the main things that spirit guides do. Okay, if you guys are wanting to meet your spirit guides, I have some amazing testimonials from my last couple groups coming out. I'll share with you. But September 22nd, September 22nd, no, not September. My programs are coming out in September. July 27th, I only have 10 spaces available for the month that I am allowing people to register for, because you're going to get that much personal attention. It's a 2-hour event. You literally get to meet your spirit guides. I hold space for the spirit guides. Thank you, honey. This is the coffee my amazing husband was going to bring me. I told you guys I was going to get some coffee. I need it. But anyway, if you want to meet your spirit guides in person at whatever level you are ready to do that, whether that be you already talked to them and maybe they're ready to, maybe you're at a place where you're ready to receive their name or get an imagery of them or connect on a deeper level or find out how many there are or get validation for your communication. This is, what we do during the Meet Your Spirit Guides is I hold space for them, and they literally come in and I guide you through allowing them to introduce themselves to you. When you leave that event, you have a better idea of what your relationship is, who they are, how you best connect with them, and what they've been trying to help you on. So everybody gets a message from their spirit guides. I help you get that from them personally and then learn to interpret it, so that when you get off the event, you can still check in with me or get readings for your spirit guides, but you're going to have a better personal connection with them on a daily basis. Okay. And that's my goal. And I'm going to walk you and guide you through that. Most people are amazed at the connection they already have with them that they didn't even realize that they have, which is super powerful. And the Meet Your Spirit Guides event was, it was the spirit guides idea. Okay. I've had spirit guides with me my entire life, and it was their idea. It is not my idea to do this event. This came from them. I'm actually going to, thank you, Tammy. Yeah, Tammy's going to write me an amazing, I hope, testimonial for this, so you guys can see what it's about. And there's a bunch of other people too. I'm just slow on everything I do because I have too much on my plate. So instead of it taking me 24 hours to get, get people's testimonials up and running, it takes me 2 weeks. Anyway, I will post that here, guys, in the group for you so that you know what it is. And another thing is, if you guys are interested in knowing my background with my spirit guides and hearing stories about them, hearing questions answered, and knowing how to differentiate between your spirit guides and your angels, or your spirit guides and your higher self, I'm going to post on here actually the link to, it's called, what was it? It was a Spirit Guide Saturday event. And I have an amazing video that I did with the spirit guides. Let's see where it is here. Here it is. I'm going to actually copy and paste this, guys, for you on so that you can see, learn more about spirit guides. And I think that'll give you a better idea as to if you want to do this event or not. Where is the link? Here, hold on a minute. I want to post this for you guys right now while I'm on here, because I don't want to forget. I want to make sure I get this on here. Here we go. If you guys go to my Larkin Psychic Medium page and you see where I say, watch this before you register. That is the video. It's actually going to keep you, it's going to not keep you, it's going to let you know what spirit guides are about. I'm posting it right now in the group, actually. There you go. There. I just posted it. All right. So you guys can watch that video first to see if that's really something you want to do, because I do only take 10 people on there. Okay. Anyway, guys, let's see. I've got about 7 minutes. I'm going to stay on with you. But your spirit guides want you to know that you guys need to hold space for yourself. So when you get on readings, or you get on here, or you're listening to somebody live, they can hold that space for you. And then you come in and you bring and hold your own space, right? Leave all your junk at the door or whatever. But when you are in private and you're wanting to talk to your spirit guides, or you're journaling, like I recommend, or you're praying, or maybe you're crying and you're trying to, just get all that old energy out and figure out, okay, where do I need to go from here? All of that you need to create space for. If you want to create transformation in your life, if you're trying to change something major in your life, same thing. You have to hold space. Okay. So you have to understand that everything in your life is creating a space. If you're upset all the time, if you're stressed, if you have a negative relationship, if you don't like your work, everything in your life holds space. So sometimes we have to clean out the space, the things that are in the space that we want and need in order to flourish and create something new. We got to clean out that old stuff. We have to create space, just like you would cleaning out old, belongings from your past, right? You can only have so much stuff in your house before things start to become crowded or cluttered, or it becomes a hoarding type of situation, right? You've got to clean out. The same is true mentally and emotionally and energetically. So you hear us talk about cleaning out your chakras, which is going to be another module in my Awakening Your Intuition Metaphysical Sampler course that comes out in September. You've got to clear all that energy out. And there's different ways to do it. You don't have to sit down and visualize your chakras. Sometimes it just merely happens through bringing up physical activity, spending time in nature, learning true meditation, journaling. Those types of things will naturally clear out your chakras and get you aligned. Okay. So anyway, these things are super exciting. And my spirit guides, were like today, everybody's spirit guides were like, you got to get on there. Even if, you're running short on time today, get on there for half an hour. Remind everybody to hold this space. Remind them to connect with their spirit team. Remind them that they are a spirit, part of their spirit team. Thank you, Anne. And, our world, guys, is moving faster and faster. You have a great day too, Anne. Thank you. Our world is moving faster and faster and faster. Okay. From Spirit's perspective, they're outside of time and space, so they are not affected by that, okay? But each of you is greatly affected by that. Your nervous system, the rate at which you think and process mentally and emotionally, is greatly affected by how our world is speeding everything up. Your spirit guides and spirit teams want you guys to know that it is okay for you to step back and create your own space and your own time framework for things. Okay. One of the reasons we have high anxiety, depression, all these types of things going on mentally and emotionally, they're unhealthy, is our nervous systems are being overly pushed. They're being exhausted. We're getting adrenal fatigue, okay, because it is affecting our body and brain chemistry. So when you're always on and you're like this, even if your spirit team is whispering in your ear, hey, Tanya, take a deep breath, slow down, take some time out, get away from your phone and social media for a few days, allow yourself to decompress. Hi, Tanya. what happens is, guys, if you're addicted to the brain and body chemistry that's already happening from being adrenally fatigued, from your nervous system being overly worked, it's not that easy. So this is why your spirit teams are always telling me to remind you, everything's a process. Everything's a process. Don't rush everything. Not all of you, but most of you. Yeah, Allison. So again, you know, if I don't know if you were on, Allison, while I was talking about this. I've only got a couple minutes and then I got to pop off because I'm reading on Veronica Jenkins' Find Me a Medium page at 4. So that's just in 8 minutes. So I'll have to get off in 2 minutes. But, you know, Allison, I'm not sure if you listened, if you were on already in the beginning, but your spirit guides were sharing with me on here for all of you. You've got to remember that negative emotions we don't like, as Dr. Joe Dispenza says, is the mind and the body. So if you're having anxiety, anxiety isn't the problem. Everybody for coaching or readings comes to me. They're like, oh my God, I don't want to be stressed. I want to eliminate my stress. I want to reduce my anxiety. That's not really what you want. Your spirit time reminds me to share with you guys that's not really what you want. The anxiety is a messenger. It's not the culprit. Okay? The anxiety is telling you something very important. When we don't listen to, you know, we say, oh, with stress and anxiety causes disease. No. Stress and anxiety was the messenger prior to the illness and disease that we didn't listen to because we were so busy trying to get away from the anxiety and the stress that we didn't see the message it had for us about what we needed to change in our life. Does that make sense? So your spirit guides try to tell you this, but when you guys are too anxious and too pumped up and too excited, you can't hear that. If your brain is too jumbled and too noisy and busy, you can't pick up on that. Okay. So please take this as very important messages from spirit today. All right. Your anxiety, Allison, is a messenger. It is not the culprit. Okay. All right. So here's a quick recap before I get off. 4 p.m. live with Veronica Jenkins on her page for live readings today and tomorrow. Friday, I am doing the Furball Friday, okay, where we dedicate that just to animals. I have 2 programs coming up, the Awakening Your Intuition, the Metaphysical Sampler, a 12-week program. I am pre-selling it for half price. If you're interested in that, you need to, I'm going to be having a group call. I will be posting that. I'm going to, you know, be very careful about what's going on in there. I want everyone to know what it is before they register. Okay. And there's also the 3 Gs that I'm having with Chris. You can check that out. I will post that in the link here as well as Meet Your Spirit Guides, guys, which is July 27th. I only have 10 spots. So if you want that, everything, all that is posted at the very top of my Psychic Medium page. Limited spaces for that. I only take 10 people a month if you want to meet your spirit guides. Okay. Allison, you're welcome. Tammy, you're welcome. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully I'll see you all on Veronica's page at 4 p.m. And I will see you all again online tomorrow and throughout the week. Stay in touch with your spirit teams, guys. Have a great day. Bye.